This video is sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one website platform helping you succeed online.
Heavens, so are there really enough camera improvements for you to justify upgrading from this 2-year-old iPhone 15 Pro Max to the brand new iPhone 17 Pro Max? Well, Apple has upgraded 3 of the 4 sensors. They are sticking with the same 48 megapixel main fusion camera on both, but they have upgraded the ultra-wide angle and telephoto sensors from 12 to 48 megapixels. Unfortunately, the ultra-wide angle sensor is staying the same sensor size, but the telephoto camera has increased a little bit in sensor size, but it's still quite small at 1/2.55 inches compared to some of the more foreign flagship competitors. Of course, the selfie camera has been upgraded on all the iPhone 17 models from 12 to 18 megapixels, and it can do auto aspect ratio switching from portrait to landscape, as well as carries the new center stage camera. And as far as features that pro consumers really care about, they both support RAW format for photography and log format for video, which is what you're seeing here. This is log video that I've color corrected. As far as what's new on the 17 Pro Max, it does support spatial audio, which supports the audio mix features. So if you want advanced audio features, you have that on the 17 Pro Max. Although if you really care about audio, you're probably using an external audio source like a microphone. The 17 Pro Max also supports 4K 120 frames per second. So if you like slowing down your footage at 4K, you have that on the 17 Pro Max. And the 17 Pro Max also has customizable photographic styles, both pre and post production. But like I always do, I'm going to show you a bunch of photos and videos, both in good and low light conditions, so you can decide for yourself which of these two camera systems are best for your smartphone camera needs, and if it's really worth you upgrading from the 15 Pro Max to the 17 Pro Max. So go ahead and take a look at all the photos and videos, and let me know what you think. everyone, just a quick break from the video to say that if you've been thinking about setting up a website for yourself or your business, I think it's a great way to have all your information in one place, from your social media contact information to if you're a content creator, all your videos, or if you're a photographer, your online portfolio. And it's also a great way to have an online forum for people to contact you. And if that sounds good to you, then today's sponsor, Squarespace, definitely has you covered.
With Squarespace, the all-in-one website platform, creating your personal website is quick and easy. Just sign up for a free trial and use their Blueprint AI website builder or select from a library of templates to get up and running in minutes. Creating a photo gallery is quick and easy. Just add a new page and select from several predefined layouts, then edit the gallery with your information, upload your images and optional descriptions, and enable the lightbox option to allow visitors to view larger images in a carousel.
And when you're ready to go live with your website, go to squarespace.com/grantlikestech for 10% off your first website or domain. I'd like to thank Squarespace for sponsoring today's video, which helps me bring you more content like this. So let's get back to the video. Alright, so here's a video test of the rear cameras of the iPhone 15 Pro Max up against the 17 Pro Max. As you can see, they both are actively recording from the rear-facing cameras. And we're starting from the ultra-wide-angle cameras on each at 4K 60 frames per second. So I'm just going to pan around here so you can see a side-by-side view of these ultra-wide-angle cameras here on this clear, sunny day. No clouds in the sky at all, but lots of greens, blues, and even that red garage, makeshift garage right there. So lots of colors for you to look at here and compare. And so I'll go into the main camera here on the 15 Pro Max and on the 17 Pro Max right there. So now these are the main cameras on each. Same 48 megapixel fusion camera, main camera here. So I'm just gonna do the same thing, pan around. So you get a side-by-side view of these main cameras in this exact same scene. And we'll go ahead and pan over here to the right and we'll test the zoom out on that cell tower. So we'll go to our, let's go to 2x crop on the main lens here on the 15 Pro Max and the same thing here on the 17 Pro Max. Then we can go to the telephoto lenses. So you have 5x telephoto there on the 15 Pro Max, a 4x 48 megapixel fusion, slightly larger sensor on the 17 Pro Max, but 4x instead of a 5x. And we can move into double that crop, so 8x on the 17 Pro Max. And let's go to a double crop here, so about a 10x here on the 15 Pro Max, both nice and steady. And we can see the max zoom here on the 15 Pro Max is 15x, and you get a max 24x here on the 17 Pro Max, so slightly longer focal length and reach there on the newer 17 Pro Max. We can move out to the main lens on the 17 and on the 15 Pro Max. And we'll test autofocus here on this post with the 15 Pro Max first. One at a time is easier so you can see the actual lens focusing. And now with the 17 Pro Max. So both pretty quick here with the autofocus and refocus away. And both have a pretty good natural depth of field there, or background blur. So let's go ahead and walk down the stairs so we can test the stabilization. You can see what that looks like here side by side as we move to the pathway. And I'll just go ahead and jog to try to stress out that stabilization on each. So there you go, a quick test of the rear cameras here of the iPhone 15 Pro Max up against the new 17 Pro Max. Let me know what you think. Everyone, so we're back with the rear cameras, this time with cinematic mode turned on each. And so you should be seeing this artificial background blur right now. And they're fully adjustable, so you can set the aperture on it right now to as more or less blurry as you want right now. And the sun is coming off my left if you're wondering about the lighting situation, but I'll turn all the way back around this way so you can see what it looks like here with the sun shining more directly into the cameras and how that affects the picture quality and this background effect. And I'll pan them up this way so you can see what it looks like here with the sun coming more off my right. And I'll just keep panning around slowly so you can see what it looks like here now with the sun shining more directly on me, and back around to where we were. And I'll just start walking so we can test the stabilization. And so you can see what it looks like side by side with some movement and how this background blur cinematic effect holds up. So let me know what you think about the cinematic video here on the 17 Pro Max and the 15 Pro Max. Everyone, so this is a front-facing video test of the iPhone 15 Pro Max up against the 17 Pro Max. This is being shot at 4K 60 frames per second, and I'm outdoors, and there's obviously some sun here. It's coming off my left, so if you're curious about the lighting situation here, looks pretty even actually right now, but I'll go ahead and pan around this way so you can see what it looks like here with the sun shining more directly into those cameras and how that affects the exposure and the overall picture quality and everything else. And I'll just keep panning around so you can see here what it looks like facing this way now, coming off my right. And I'll just pan all the way back around, and I'll just walk so we can test the stabilization so you can see what that looks like side by side. So let me know what you think about this front-facing video footage with the new selfie camera on the 17 Pro Max compared to the older selfie camera here on the 15 Pro Max. Hey, so we're back in the same scene with the front-facing cameras of the 15 Pro Max and 17 Pro Max, this time with cinematic video turned on. So you can see this artificial background blur, and they are fully adjustable. So I have the aperture set to f/4.0 right now, but of course you can make that more or less blurry as you want. And so the sun is again coming off my left, so you can see what that looks like here with that type of a lighting. But again, I'll just pan this way so you can see what it looks like with the sun shining more directly into the cameras, how that affects the picture quality, exposure, as well as the overall background effect here. And I'll pan it back up this way so the sun is now coming off my right, and I'll just slowly pan around so you get to see what it looks like here with it shining directly on my face, and all the way back around to where we started. And I'll just walk so we can test stabilization, and also you can see how this cinematic video background effect holds up with some movement here. So let me know what you think about the cinematic video here on the 17 Pro Max and the 15 Pro Max. Hey everyone, so here's a low light video test of the rear cameras of the iPhone 15 Pro Max up against the 17 Pro Max. This is the ultra wide angle cameras to start out on each at 4K 60 frames per second. So I'm just panning around here to give you a side-by-side view of these ultra wide angle cameras here in this particular environment. And although the ultra wide on the 17 Pro Max has been upgraded to 48 megapixels compared to the 12 megapixels on the 15 Pro Max, they're both pretty much the same sensor size. So that's why you're not seeing that much or really any improved low light performance here. They seem to be pretty much the same. Maybe the color temperatures might be a little bit different, but I'm not seeing a lot of low light benefits to the ultra wide angle camera if that's what you're interested in gaining. But I'll go into the main camera on the 15 Pro Max and now on the 17 Pro Max. So this is the main camera on each. And you can see it brighten up a bit more because these main sensors are larger. They're gonna let in more light than that ultra wide angle camera. And you can see that really bright street light there is not on. So of course it's a little bit darker if you've seen some of my other videos. So this might be a little bit better test of the low light capabilities here. And you can see it is brighter with this main sensor compared to the ultra wide, again, because of the larger sensor. And we can go ahead and test the telephoto lens here on the, let's go to the 15 Pro Max 5x telephoto here. And let's go to the 4x telephoto here on the 17 Pro Max. And we can move all the way up into max 15 times zoom on the 15 Pro Max. And here is the max 24x zoom on the 17 Pro Max. So farther reach, longer focal length on the 17 Pro Max, but not by a ton. But there's a difference there on both of them. So in case zoom is important to you, get a little bit more zoom out of the telephoto lens on the 17 Pro Max. But again, nothing really major there, in my opinion. And we'll pan around this way, and we'll just start walking so you can see the stabilization side by side, as well as going to a much darker area. Right now, there's a lot less light here. The cameras are probably trying to do a lot to bump up that ISO and make it a lot brighter than it really is from what I'm seeing, because there really is no light right now as they move into this pathway here. A lot of the lights that are usually on are not, if you've seen my other videos of this same scene. So it's extremely dark as I round this corner here. There are pretty much no lights here on the walkway or any bright lights that are adorning here. They're totally off. You can see as I pan this way, there are more lights here and off the building, but not a ton, so it's a little bit brighter down here. And I'll just pan up to the building and up into the night sky so you can kind of see what that looks like here. There are a bunch of stars out though, so you can see that, but of course, in auto mode here, you can see it cranking up the ISO. Looks a little bit noisy in the viewfinders, but we'll pan back around this way. So let me know what you think about this low light performance here on the 15 Pro Max versus the 17 Pro Max here in 4K. All right, so should you upgrade from the iPhone 15 Pro Max to the new 17 Pro Max? Well, let me get through this low light camera test of these front-facing selfie cameras, and I'll wrap this video up with some of my own personal opinions. But again, the 17 Pro Max has the upgraded 18 megapixel ultra wide angle selfie camera that you're seeing here. And a lot of people like that new selfie camera because it's a wider field of view. You can fit more group selfies into it. So if that's what you're into and you're thinking you can fit more people, much wider field of view. It is a wide angle camera. It's not that much of a wider field of view than the 15 Pro Max as you're seeing here. So you get a little bit more people in it, a little bit more in the frame, but not a ton. And so of course I'm here outdoors in some low light. You can see all the street lights behind me, and it is a bit warmer color temperature. So if you're wondering what the color should be looking like, this is fairly accurate, maybe a little bit warmer like iPhones generally shade towards, but no really bright light behind me like I normally have right now, but we'll get to that. And let's just go ahead and start walking so I can show you the stabilization side by side, as well as move over to a little bit less lighting situation here. So without all the lights around me, you can see what it performs like with less light as I walk through this area. And we'll move all the way back up over here. And if I do spin around, You'll see some really bright street lights right there shining directly into these front-facing cameras. So if you're out and about at night and you're using the front-facing cameras, this is maybe some of the quality you might expect. And I'll just move back over here where there's less light so you can get a side-by-side view of what that actually looks like here in this environment with a lot less light around me, and you get to see what the quality looks like here with less light, obviously. So let me know what you thought about the camera comparison between the 15 Pro Max and 17 Pro Max. And to answer that question, should you upgrade? Well, there are reasons to upgrade outside of the cameras. If you want the new processor, you're really going to be pushing that new processor to its max capacity. You want the improved thermal management and efficiency that the 17 Pro Max gives you. Okay, that might be one reason. Also, the improved battery life on the 17 Pro Max is very good. That could be another reason you want to upgrade. Or maybe you also just want things like the new design. You want a slightly better display. All those reasons might be reasons to upgrade to the 17 Pro Max. But just for the cameras, my personal opinion would be no. The main camera, to me, performs fairly similarly. You still have the pro features like Pro RAW for photography. You still have log video recording for video. So if you're into color grading, you want to be able to edit your photos and videos to your liking in post, you can do that on both these phones. And I think they look just about the same. If you want to upgrade for the improved telephoto sensor, well, the sensor is a little bit bigger on the 17 Pro Max. It does go from 12 to 48 megapixels, but overall performance on a day-to-day basis I'm seeing is pretty similar. You do get a longer reach on the 17 Pro Max for both photos and videos, longer focal lengths there, but not by a ton. So unless you really need extreme zoom, it does provide a little bit better processing clarity on those farther zoom shots on the 17 Pro Max. But unless you really need that, that's not a really big difference to me personally. And on the ultra wide angle camera, it's also going from 12 to 48 megapixels, but it's the same sensor size. So if you're expecting a larger sensor, you're not getting that on the 17 Pro Max, so you're not going to get improved low light performance from the ultra wide angle camera, if that's something that you're into. And if you're not going to be printing these photos out or blowing them up into Cameron's prints, then you're not going to benefit from that upgrade to a 40 megapixel picture on the telephoto and the ultra wide. So if you don't fall into any of those buckets and you don't really need it for those reasons, then I don't really think there's enough of a camera improvement here from the 15 to the 17. That's just my personal opinion. If you do need 4K 120, you're a creator, you like shooting slow motion video, that could be something on why you want the 17 Pro Max. There is spatial audio on the 17 Pro Max, which I don't think is a really big deal. Personally, to me, I think if you really want better audio quality, external microphones are probably a better way to go. But spatial audio is there. It has the audio mix features on the 17 Pro Max that you cannot get on the 15 Pro Max. So, those are some differences and why you may or may not want to upgrade. My personal opinion is that it's not a significant enough leap to have to upgrade. But if you do need any of those features that I just described, those are reasons to upgrade. If you're thinking about upgrading, those are some reasons why you may not want to upgrade to what I just talked about. You might not be getting what you're expecting. So that's just my own quick take and my personal opinions on why you may or may not want to move from the 17 Pro Max, from the 15 to the 17 Pro Max, just for the cameras. And like I mentioned, there are some other reasons that I went through on why you may want to upgrade. Maybe you're just getting a good deal and you want the new design on the 17 Pro Max, that's fine. But that's just my 2 cents, and people were asking me for more of my opinion, so there you go. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section. I'll try to answer what I can. And as always, thanks for watching.